about the new technologies and AI, and I started my training. So a few weeks later, I shared some of my images at a platform we have called Learning with Lines. So after sharing, guys started requesting for classes, and we opened a platform called Kenya AI Visual Creators, and we did a first training. So far the space has been overwhelming for me. So because there has been so much growth in a few days. So I believe that this will be a very powerful session for us all because AI has changed my life, and also I'm hoping that it's going to change the lives of the people that we have here. So I think that's me for now. Uh, Looking forward to the conversation.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, SK. I think we'll introduce the younger guy of AI as SK and the OG as Derito. I think then that will becomes easy. Then we have one of vocal fierce girl that I've met in this photography space. Her name is Kesh Dhampa. She is not shy to share her thoughts and express opinion. Kesh, please come on camera, say hi to this team, and let's hear from you.
Okay, but so far I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Just give me a second. Let me just sort my angle first. Thanks for having me, Waniki.
Please continue.
Just a second. Yeah, so it's a bit dark, but we'll work with what we have. Yeah, so my name is Kesh. Now, I'm audible, yeah?
Yes, you are.
I'm audible, okay. So, Kesh Ndamba is my name. I am a documentary photographer and filmmaker. And just short introduction. And Monica, what else did you want me to share?
I can see what you've done there. You are showing us silhouette. I know the technique of silhouette, but for this today we wanted to see your face also. But anyway, it's all right. At least we can hear you. Great. So yeah, it's a conversation about now that's better. It's back to it. But anyway, the conversation today is about AI and photography, and I was keen, to demystify the AI we're talking about for the purposes of my friend. But now that we understand AI, artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence for that matter, we have seen a trend, and of course technology has come of age, started a while back, but at least now is when we can see artificial intelligence as a technology has come to a level where it can actually produce images that can be used for commercial and advertising work. And in actual fact, we have seen, top brands using AI for their communication, and some of them going up to what we call above the line on billboards. Of course, that denying a couple of people work. So as we start off, I want to bring in Steve Derito. Steve, there's something you posted on Facebook. I read it and I was like, this is a true reflection of the landscape. So, Steve, I want to invite you and just set a stage for us in terms of where we are, where you guys started, and how the landscape has changed and how you see it as it today. Steve, over to you.
Okay, asante sana. You've just reminded me of a time when somebody called me a Photoshop photographer because I was a graphic designer who got interested in photography. And that time was when digital photography was just coming up. And the first thing I think I want to share is artificial intelligence is a tool, just the same way computers came. And I remember our time in the late 90s, like when the government was computerizing offices. That means instead of typing with a computer, with a typewriter, they were using a MS Word. Very basic use of the computer. And the same hue and cry we are hearing today about artificial intelligence is the same one that was there that time. The people who learned how to use a computer as a tool to enhance their efficiency, quality, and speed of work, I'm sure they got the benefits. And even now, in all spheres, I believe we need to embrace artificial intelligence as a tool to enhance efficiency, to enhance quality and speed of the work, and even sometimes creativity of the work that you do. I happened to have emceed an event last year. It's called TEMS, perhaps the second largest IT and technology event after the one that is organized. It's called Connect Summit by the ICT Authority. So this is organized by a private entity. It's called TEMS Summit at the Sarit. And half of the conversations there that I was emceeing in the summit, but there were other people who were presenting, was about artificial intelligence. And I'll give you one very simple example away from photography. And then I'll come back. When you go to a hospital, now wanakupiga picture, whether it's X-ray, MRI, all those things, CT scan, and you need a specialist to analyze, but a machine can be taught to analyze those things with no fatigue, with no memory loss, with no bias. It can analyze that image in seconds. That is life-saving. But the medical practitioners who are going to learn how to add their expertise and their know-how, or maybe purchase the machines and program them to read that image. And that happened at a time when my own mother was in hospital. They extended her hospitalization by 2 days. Tukingoja daktari wa Nairobi atume results. And then I was in an event where they were telling us that in the next few years, medical records will be analyzed by a machine. So even the doctors watapoteza kazi. Now, Daudi, give me just 1 minute to give a very quick, I'm on ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT every day. I think Google doesn't love me anymore. I'm on a paid version. So ChatGPT, I have a friend of mine, George Adulu, says it's like consulting 10 people with PhD at once in a minute. So I have asked ChatGPT, and I'm using ChatGPT because this discussion is about AI. And I don't want us to talk about photography, Daudi, because people on this group are not photographers. They are more than photographers. Photography is just one of the things that they are doing. So I have asked ChatGPT, how can creatives utilize artificial intelligence in their work? And I'll just mention what it says. Creation of digital arts and illustration, 3D modeling and animation, music production and sound engineering, video editing and post-production, AI-driven creative tools, to create images and other things, graphic design, writing and content creation, editing photography now will be speeded up, creating of UX UI interfaces, augmented reality, definitely. These days you don't have to code from scratch. Those are just 11 points. I have not explained them because it's going to take time. And this was a very simple prompt on ChatGPT. Last part, Daudi. I have asked ChatGPT, how can we utilize AI as artists and creatives in our work? Creative process enhancement. That means if you're doing something in 2 hours, you can do it in minutes. Who doesn't want that? At least you guys will have more time to hang out with your girlfriends and boyfriends. Content generation. Us guys need to create content to market ourselves, to position our brands, personalization and consumer interaction, performance and real-time interaction, then education and skills shift. How can you use AI? Sometimes I want to read a book, but I don't have the time to read. So I'll go to ChatGPT and tell me, give me a comprehensive summary of this book. And I don't have the time to read that book. I don't have. But I'll get what the book says if I get a comprehensive summary. Now, in conclusion, I think we need to understand that artificial intelligence is going to be here at least for the next 1-2 decades. Is going to be perhaps one of the highlights of our time after COVID. We need to view it as a tool, not as something that's taking away our jobs. And please remember, it's supposed to enhance. It will enhance what you're already doing. It should not exactly replace. It will just enhance your efficiency, your speed. So if your client can see that you finished your work in 2 hours and another vendor is taking 2 days, who's going to get the job? If you can do a script faster, if you can do a storyboard faster, if you can edit pictures faster, if you can create a content strategy or a project strategy faster because of ChatGPT, you'll be better. Thanks, Moniki.
Hey, Derito, I thought you are the old guy who would be fighting AI. But now I can see you are actually, dived in the deep end, supporting AI and looking at the incredible things that you can be able to do with it. Wow, how things change quickly. My goodness. Before I bring SK, because SK has done a fantastic job. He has actually just started a group that is right now, I don't know, 300 people, or I don't know how many we are right now. Before I bring SK, and SK, you can be getting ready to show us some of the things you're doing with Bing and these other things. I want to bring Kesh, because Kesh is someone I can trust to say anything without sugarcoating it. Kesh, what do you think about this AI? Should we embrace it as Derito here is insinuating, or should we approach it with caution? What are your thoughts and your imagination around this space? You can unmute first.
Yeah. Thanks. I think there's a balance that can be struck in between the two. I'll be honest that I myself have not been a fan of it per se, particularly. I've not given it much time. I'll be honest. I've just looked at it from afar. But there are things that I am just categorically clear about. I mean, our meeting is photography versus AI, right? So, and there's some information I came across is that AI generated images is not photography, because a photograph is something that has been, bounced off a sensor, a film. That's how you create photos. So I liked that comment a lot, because in fact, just allow me to read it very clearly instead of paraphrasing. Why this comment, it encouraged me, because those, like I said, I've been observing AI from afar, and I'm wondering, and of course I am asking myself all these questions about my future, because this is a career for me. It's work that I love to do. Is the future at odds because AI? So the quote was, AI generated images are not photography. A photograph captures light on a sensor or film. It is a record of a physical moment. AI images are not records of physical moments. So there are places, that's why I said balance. So there are places where photography will always have the upper hand, and I think AI is something that will assist. For example, in the creation of mood boards, you could use AI. I don't see why not. So I haven't yet gotten to that kind of work really, but I think having observed all the images people are sharing on AI online, and I think there's a balance that can be struck. Like I said, I'm not a fan, but there's always room to learn and unlearn things. So I think AI is really taking us to a place where we're going to unlearn a lot of things. And just embrace it for the future, because I don't see a future where a near future where AI is gone. So
Your network is letting us down.
There's room for it. Okay.
Now you're back.
My network.
Yes, I know you're the sometimes you're breaking, but now I think you're good.
Now I'm back.
Okay. Please proceed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I was saying. So I'm audible. I'm clear now. Okay. Yeah. So there's a place for both of them. That's my overall point. The way my journey with AI has begun, I've not given it much time and attention. I've just been observing from afar. And yeah, like I said, AI generated images are not photography. So for photographers, they still hope that you are going to be relevant in the near future, whether or not AI is present. And there are actually particular types of photography where the use of a physical photographer, a human being, will still be necessary. For example, what we see in documentary stories, humanitarian stories that are very concise with what is being documented. You can't always rely on artificial intelligence to provide true imagery for you. The Center of Human Interest Storytelling, I think for the most part, is you going down to those people and taking stories and images of their lives. And AI just can't replace that, if you ask me. Yeah. And there are places where, of course, we can still utilize them. Like I said, using mood boards to just help you in your idea processing and creation. Because at the end of the day, we should be idea people. Yes. So I think AI will really help us on that front.
Wonderful.
Sometimes I actually don't, I'm not so pleased by the images that are, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. We hear you, Kesh. We hear you. And in actual fact, in some elements, I share the sentiments, and we are living truly in unprecedented times. When I saw the calendar, you know the calendar. We don't even have to say the name. We saw the calendar that was AI. You and I know how many people didn't do the work that they used to enjoy. I mean, for every commercial project and the billboard we show, even like for Christmas billboard that we show on the roads, there's always the model who is paid well to be on that, whatever. There's a producer, there's a photographer and an assistant. There's a catering team just to be able to make sure that these guys are fed. There are guys who provide props and costumes, the outfits that these people wear. There are guys of locations, and they scout the location, and also they pay the guys of the locations. There's a guy behind the scene who does all this retouching. But now all that work in this recent past has been done probably by 2 people or at max 3. The whole ecosystem has been hurt. So clearly, AI, as we embrace it, it is also hurting in a couple of things. So I want to bring SK. SK, please tell us, why did you embrace AI so well? And you can quickly show us some of the things that you're doing in that space, because I've seen even the group already is very vibrant. SK, over to you.
Thank you, Moniki. Good session. So I agree with Stephen and Kesh. that there is massive change that is happening in our industry. And mostly for me, the change has been in the role that the industry has given me. Because I shared a few images on a platform, and some guys requested that, okay, how are you doing this? So there was an opportunity for us to change things, a few things. So for me, it has been very powerful, especially now after we did our first training, which was just about 1 hour with my friend Simon Shege. After we did our first training, we really saw guys creating amazing, very, very amazing art. And okay, guys, sorry, I have a cold, so my voice may be different from maybe what some of us are used to. And okay, so for me, it has really changed my life, and I've seen a lot of potential. But how I got started is I was looking for stuff to train in. So at some point, I was learning writing. Then I was learning coding, and in my journey, I realized that there is something called AI, which is making work easier for people. So after learning some writing, I talked to my friend who hires writers. So he told me, my friend, for now, writing is not a good thing to learn. You're going to waste your time because as for me, I'm not hiring any more writers because I have AI do all my work. So that was a shock. Then in December, I met another friend who does coding, and I was learning coding. Then the guy tells me that there is AI now, which is making our work easier. So okay, as a learner, I wouldn't advise for you to use AI, but kuna this thing called autopilot, which now does the code for you. So looking back, and I came across now some AI created images on a group called Graphic Designers Africa. So I talked to the guy. He's Eliwiz, a Nigerian guy. He organized a training for us, just like the one I did for my Kenyan people. So after the training, I started creating, but I had hid myself for a few weeks until I felt confident enough to share what I had created. So I shared in a platform called Learning with Lines by Simon Shege, and now guys started having the conversation. There was even the talk about the famous calendar and the things that they are doing mostly. So after sharing the images, the guys were really interested. Someone suggested that we create a group. So I created a group, and within the first day, I think we were at 40 members. Right now, I can bet we are around 380 members. Let me just confirm in just a minute. So our group is called Kenya AI Visual Creators. It has now 380 members. So I was really overwhelmed by this, and yeah. So I think first of all, Mr. Moneki, we will continue with the discussion before I can organize maybe some of the work I've created. Yes, and I'm really excited to be here with you guys and having this conversation, because from my research, it's going to replace some of us. And that's not to scare you. And it's just to let you know that this is happening. So how do we adjust? And for me, I feel like education is the best way to go to learn how to utilize these tools to help us improve our work. So for me, I stand big on the education, the training. How do we take advantage of this new technology that is upon us now that it is here and there's nothing we can do about it? Yeah. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, SK, and brilliant work and congratulations being able to eat 380 members in less than a month or two. I mean, our PK membership is about 400 there, and we are as old as something else that I cannot mention here. But I mean, incredible work. So I like the last statement that you've done. You've said there that the big deal here is being able to appreciate all hard what you're going to do with it, and also embracing learning. And today I saw a quote that was very interesting: that you learn first, then you drop the L. If you drop the L from learn, it's you earn. So I think all of us, and someone said the more you learn, the more you earn. And if you think about it critically, I mean, that's the way the world is. So I think learning is something that we can never underestimate. So I want to go back to my old friend, Derito. Derito, you have heard what is happening. You can hear what these young guys are able to achieve with less than a month. Things that we have taken years as old film people and lens people and DSLR people to achieve. What are the risks, if you may think about the risk for now, what are the risks that we need to be able to face and deal with? Because at the end of the day also, we have to look at the challenges that are ahead of us and the opportunity ahead of us head on, and be able to say, which way were you able to ride? Steve Derito, over to you. I saw even you are saying that back in 2014, we aren't as many as we are now. You know, now tumekuwa wengi sana. Jamaa akimaliza high school hivi, ananunua kamera, ana compete na wewe. What are we dealing with, Derito?
Perhaps the kibwagizo for your answer is a competitive edge. In life, we are in the jungle. You know, we are still in the jungle. You're either hunting or you're getting hunted. You're either smart or you're dumb. You're either eating or being eaten. So, and that's the way life is, you know, figuratively speaking.
They said, let me just add something there that a politician told us the other day, that if you're not on the table, you're in the menu. Can you imagine that? For a minute.
Yes. And it's true. So it is good when you have a competitive edge. And picking up from what we have been mentioning, and I mentioned also, if you look at, for instance, your workflow, if you look at your costs, if you look at the quality of your work, anything that can give you a competitive edge. And I'm saying this, if you're shooting with a 120,000 camera and a 50,000 lens, and then I give you an R3 or a Z9 with their native mirrorless lenses, then you take the same pictures and present. I mean, you already are ahead if you know how to use the tool, that is, because you can also give somebody who doesn't know how to use the tools to use them. So if I am doing my work and I can work 10 times faster, I can deliver 10 times better quality, I can have a smoother, less stressful workflow because of artificial intelligence, then what am I doing going through the long path? Unakumbuka siku za film watu wakisema, these digital cameras, it's not photography. There is something. Hakuna, hiyo ni upuzi. Now, eventually, everybody has realized, you know, as in, picha ni picha. Now, we may want to say that AI-generated images, for example, they are not images, but they will have their place, trust me. But of course, there are places where we can't use them, and we know the places where we can't use them. And there are places you'll use them, like I can't use AI images to photograph my Photomagic studio shoots. You know, and I can create a studio family poses, you know, na mpaka niwaweke matching clothes, but I can't use that. You know, people want to see, they'd rather see BTS or photo shoots than AI-generated family photo shoot pictures. Go to things like, the other day I was doing a documentary, not a documentary, an explainer video for an NGO, and I always have problems with voiceover because they change the script. Na lazima utume mtu wa voiceover back to the studio. So we use AI voices to do the draft. until I ask them, mko sure sasa hiyo script ndio mnataka? Then the voice of a person can come to them. And some of those AI voices, they even have Kenyan voices, by the way. You know, so let's use it to enhance your work. The biggest thing I've done is Christmas. There's some clients that we do for advertising and design work and market, whatever, visual design. So easy posters are Christmas, New Year, Nini. Those images, we just generated them using AI. Otherwise, I would have had to do a lot of Photoshop to create the images. Sadly, I'm using my phone, so it will be hard to share my screen, but maybe one of these days I'll be able to share some of them. I mean, they are very simple pictures. One of them was a shopping cart full of electronic goods rolling down a road in the middle of a savannah, an African savannah. Hiyo picha Daudi utatoa wapi? Kwanza utafute shopping cart, uende na pen tool, utoe background, alafu kama ufanye kama rugs, uende utafute picha ya savana, uanze kuwekelea. Mtu alikuwa ameingia kwa basi ya Kigali from Nairobi, ashafika Kigali ukifanya hiyo Photoshop, you know. And it takes 30 seconds to generate an image. You know, those of you on Midjourney, DALL-E 3, others who are using Firefly and all. So, and I'm saying, Daudi, let the word photography in this session not be the art of clicking, but let it be the career, the profession as a whole. You know, if a client asks me for a script right now, I will not start scratching my head. You know, most likely I will start on BARD, the AI for Google, then I go to ChatGPT, and then I might pass through Grammarly, because I don't have the time to start editing the grammar. And then now from there, now you put your originality about the client, the context, the messages you want to put, the nuances, you localize and things like that. So our risks is we will not have a competitive edge, and the systems will just let us fall by the wayside through inaitangwa natural attrition. You just fall by the wayside, you know, because you didn't have a competitive edge, you did not relearn, you did not innovate, you did not keep up with the times. A client asks you for something and you're still, you know, taking your time. It's like those of us who go to photography events and a client asks for pictures while you're shooting and your camera doesn't have Wi-Fi. Na umeitishwa picha ya mdosi while the event is going on. So you have to go to the laptop, download, edit. But the people who cameras have Wi-Fi or any other wireless form of connectivity, they have an edge. You're like, oh, you want that photo? Takutumia kwa WhatsApp, sai tu. You know, look for your competitive edge using technology.
Wow, my goodness. The guy that I thought would be fighting for the film and the Kodak is the one embracing AI. And the person I thought would be on the whatever is this is an interesting one. Anyway, Kesh, I want to come to you. You have said you are even not looked at these things since it came. You have been watching from a distance. You must have reasons. And unfortunately, Steve Derito has just busted that bubble that a picture does not have to be on a digital camera or digital sensor or film. What are your thoughts and what are your reaction into this, Kesh? Shoot us as it is. At least the good thing is today we are remote, so there was no chance of physical fight. You can shoot as it is, Kesh.
No, I still maintain the fact that photography is what I said is with regard to AI-generated images. Even Steve can't fight that wherever he is, but I understand the angle he's coming from. And I'll also add that there's a lot I've picked up from what he shared. He shared a lot of good things. It actually made me rethink this, just think about what he said, my competitive edge. Maybe AI can also help somebody have one or have an edge. So it's up for you to find it. And yeah. So that's so for that's what I got from Steve's part. Yes, I haven't embraced it on my end. I'm aware of the journey. That's the one software that I'm actually going to use. Trying to generate my own music, but I haven't done that. So I have been
Oh, your connection is back. Problems. Yeah, your connection is kidogo making your voice break. As you try to sort that one, and let me share with you something. Let me share with you guys something. Hopefully these things will not embarrass me now. Where is this thing now? Do you want to embarrass me now? No technology and this thing. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I wanted to show you something that some of the things I shot. My goodness, now it has. Oh man. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can. We can see the billboard. Karibu Kenya.
Yes. This just on the Christmas, in the eve of Christmas, and I was driving around Nairobi, and I spotted 3 billboards that are AI generated. This was one of them as you exit up National Museum from Expressway. This one was just going to around K1 there. This was the big brand. I don't want to mention it, and you understand why. I saw this and I was like, wonderful, my goodness. And just before, as I had said, I had enough going home, I was met with this one. These are all photos I was snapping in my car from my phone. My goodness, this is where we are. That's the reality. And for your information, guys, I shoot like these ones because I'm privy to some of the context in terms of the budget and the people who are involved in some of these things. It was quite something, but I can see this is where it is now. Anyway, I want to go back to SK. SK, I don't know whether your things are ready. You can show us what you're doing, and you can tell us whether even you have already bugged some good commercial projects, or you have commercialized some of these things that you're doing, and the opportunities that you've already identified so far. SK, over to you. You can share your screen. You can do your thing.
All right. Thank you again, Monique. Also, another thing I forgot is that I've been using AI for a number of things, because there is another thing I do for businesses. I do create customized Kiza tunes, and I discovered a tool for just inputting text. We put a text for a Kiza tune, and it gives us a voice. So I'm saying it has a lot of applications. And also in my cyber business, I've been using the AI to generate maybe quick write-ups, maybe application letters, just if somebody wants to write something at a very fast rate, so I do that also. So I'm saying all that. Okay, as we figure out how to share this, just a minute.
On your screen, you can see some icons below there. Somewhere in the middle, you can see share screen. A green
Yes,
icon.
I can see it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's disabled.
Oh, really? Okay,
Oh
let me
yeah,
see.
let me
Let
oh
me see
yeah.
whether let me see if there's anything I
Yeah,
can do from my end.
it's not enabled from your side.
Oh, Allah,
Yeah.
Allah.
And this one is for photographers out there. I've discovered a tool called, what's it called? Let me check again. It's called Headshots Pro. Headshot Pros.
But
It's
try
a
now.
platform. Okay. It's a platform where you just upload your selfies. Okay.
Try now.
Yeah. So is it visible?
Yes, we can
Oh
see
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
serious manenos here.
Okay. So I'll first of all go through some of these images. So there's a prompt I shared via the Kenya Visual Creators, and somebody created a very nice picture of someone on top of Mount Kenya holding a placard saying I made it. And my friend saw it, so I used Discord on this and face inside face. So this is their actual face, my friend's face. So that was done with AI, and she was very happy with the work. Then the next one, this
You
is
can
promo.
you can open it so that it's big. We can look at it in a much better way.
Okay. Is it better now?
Not yet. It hasn't loaded. I use okay. This is master Windows. Anyway, continue to. No worries. I think we can follow it.
The images zinaonekana vizuri.
Zinaonekana lakini they are still thumbnails. We are thinking you could click on it so that
Thumbnails.
it opens as a big
But
photo.
I've opened them.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know what the issue is. So let me close this. So okay,
But in
that's
our too.
better. That's better.
Let me see. Yes, this is good. You can tell us
Yeah.
now
So
about Steve Cyber Cafe.
yeah. So I have a small cyber cafe back in Yeri. So this was I think my first promo job. So I created this for my social media platforms and started sharing them. So that was the first one. So the idea was to have somebody who looks as close to me as possible. Then yeah, so I think that was it. Yeah, so you can see the image. It's a bit close to my features, so I kind of felt that this is a very powerful thing. Moving back, now this is my friend who's in the Kenya Prison Service. So he asked me if I can do something with his photo, and this is what we came up with.
Dope. Can I share mine also? I need to share something. You do something wonderful.
Yeah, so you can see it's not very far from the real thing. So this is very scary technology. So that's for a masterclass we're having. So I'll be sharing that very soon. The idea here was to create a piece of art that feels more African. Yeah. Okay. So these are some of the pieces that I feel I love the most, maybe. Yeah. So this was for a client. So far I've not worked with brands, but I've been working with individuals, and it's really good. It's it's really worth it. So it has paid for my time, the one that I used for the studies and all that. Yeah, so I wanted to create a silhouette here. So I'm just trying different artistic styles. Again, the previous piece of art that we had. I'm also a Harry Potter fan, so this is the first thing that came to mind when I thought about the Harry Potter franchise series. So we have a few of this. So it's really interesting how you can have an idea in your mind and direct this technology to create that for you. And sometimes it creates something that you haven't or you hadn't anticipated. So I feel like this is very, very powerful technology. This is man and nature. So I feel that these are pieces that could be used somewhere, and they are really unique because even if we give the AI the same prompts, it will come with different images. So man and nature. Monique, you remember this one?
Yes.
Yeah, it's for just my love for Africa, and of course I put some Kenyan in it. So I feel that it's really giving us some really interesting results. Yeah, so Africa. Oh yeah. So that's all the images I have for now. The rest of them are either private files or some things that I didn't really see the need to share, but I have some also on my socials. Just a minute. Yeah, those are just some of the works I have been able to create for now. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think very encouraging. And before I forget, this gentleman called SKE with Simon Lenz. Is it Simon Shege? Is it Simon Lenz or Lines? Or they have a
It's lines.
practical lines, eh? Not lens, lines,
Yeah,
eh?
lines. Yeah.
They are lines. Simon Lines and SK will have a practical sessions on Saturday. So you may want to save a K and save the date so that exactly this is it now.
Yeah, you can access the details on your screen.
Yes, so that you are able to learn how to whisper. They're calling themselves AI whisperers. You can whisper to AI to give you images like those ones. I mean, I don't know whether what you do with a K, but a K in this Nairobi nowadays it's not even enough for lunch. So if you can be able to spend 1,000 and learn some of these things, and by end of day Saturday you're able to create images like this, whether they are classified as photography or not, quoting one Keshmaina Makena.
By that image that we have, those images of me and Simon,
Yes.
those images, believe it or not, are AI generated images. So you can really see the resemblance in Simon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can really see it's very, very close to him. Then this Stephen Derito, I felt that it really looked like me from another world. Like, so it's really interesting what this AI can do.
I think SK, the only thing you have not done is to teach me how to do myself. Now that I can see some gray area, I just also push myself some nice and add some guy from AI. You need to teach me how to do
Yeah,
that. But
it's
maybe I need to pay
it's
1,000. Maybe I need to pay 1,000.
yeah,
I'll come on
it's
Saturday.
item number 3 on the poster.
Yes.
On the poster, you can see there is face swap technology. Yes, can you see it on the poster?
Yes, I can
Like
see.
the
I can.
item number 3, yes. That's the one we are using for now. But I understand there are platforms that you can just give a selfie of yourself and they create an image of you in very different backgrounds. So yeah.
Okay. As we continue, I think it's always good to read what is happening on our chat section. A guy called Clive Ga is asking Niaji, can this session be recorded? Yes, Clive, this session is being recorded. We are serious people. I mean, you're dealing with brilliant guys. Yeah, fantastic. And then there's Flo Ball. Is it Flo Ball or Flo Baller? He's saying, hi, Kesh, I am a fan. Hey, Kesh. Hey, we are sorry. Kesh, hapa kuna mafans. Naona hapa kuna watu wako na fans. Mimi sijaona mtu yote anasema ni fan. But it's all right. I'll swallow some water and trust God for another day. Someone will say I'm a fan. Then there's someone saying here, SK, are all these generated on Mid Journey, Discord, blah, blah, blah? You want to take that quickly? Oh, you have actually responded.
Yeah. So this thing were created on Bing. The images were created on Bing. Then on Discord, there's a bot you can install, which is called Inside Face Swap. Then there you save identities of people that you want to switch. So once you generate the images, you go to Discord, and then there's a way now you can switch the ID. So it switches the face, including the expression that's on the face. I think I have another image, but okay. I don't know where to get it right now, but yeah, it's being in Discord. Yeah.
Wonderful,
Being as
wonderful.
in BING.
Yes. There's
Oh.
being the image creator.
Yeah, it's by Microsoft Cache. Cache knows some of these things. It's by Microsoft. It's called Bing.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, Priscilla
Yeah,
Modoni is
talking of
saying,
that.
Mwalimu SK, I'm pleased to have you to have given inspiration for the I Made It poster. Mwalimu SK, I'm pleased to have given inspiration for the I Made the. Oh, someone here is getting
Oh
getting
yeah, yeah.
credits. It's all right. Priscilla, fantastic. I mean, who are we to deny you your bragging rights? So, asante sana Priscilla. You can DM me also, and I can see what I can do about it. Anyway,
Yes, she's the one who made the first image I shared. Then
okay.
I posted on my WhatsApp as these are some of the results that my students have given. And somebody now wanted to see their face actually on that image. So that's how I had to figure it out. So Priscilla, thank you so much. I didn't know that you were here. So at least I mentioned that it was made by one of my students. So that's
Wonderful.
a very good thing, very encouraging.
Wow. And there's someone who is throwing darts, saying Kesh has a very beautiful smile. Guys, can you save the darts for some other moment here? We are talking about AI and photography. So I go back to my old friend, Mr. Derito. Derito, we have seen what AI can do. We have discussed the risk and what it is if we are not able to embrace. What opportunities do you see some of these things being able to play in our creative space? You've actually mentioned that it is very unforgiving for us to call ourselves photographer. Tell us, what should we call ourselves, and what are the opportunities that we see that this thing is bringing to our table or to the landscape?
Okay. Lakini you've called me old friend, so I don't know if old refers to a friendship or me. Unaniita mzee yani?
No, I mean it's like wine. It has aged our friendship, our friendship.
Okay. I think opportunities can be as many as your hunger. Nakumbuka vile David Masharia hutuambia charge according to your needs. So even at this stage, and I'm saying as a person who does not hesitate to adapt, to try and keep up with the times in certain ways. Of course, we have to get old. I think what they are saying, the only thing that's remaining now in life is for technology kufanya watu wasizeeke. But then it is important even for some of us who are, in our 40s, to be young at heart. The reason I'm saying this is, for instance, I remember when COVID came, I think by May, nilikuwa nimeomba sistangu do, and she bought for me equipment on Amazon for live streaming. Remember, COVID lockdown came in March, and I got into live streaming very fast. And I think I would not hesitate to say that iliniokolea sana, especially during COVID. Before the rest of you came into it, and now everybody is doing it in different ways and in different strides. In all times when there is disruption and new technologies coming in different fields, the people who get into it first. It's called first move advantage. It may not guarantee, because I think did Airtel Money have first move, but it didn't have the advantage before M-Pesa? There's a theory like that I think I've heard. But they had the advantage, not Airtel Money. Yeah, there's something they say about Airtel, you know. But for us, the opportunity, the options are limitless. SK has just mentioned a few, so many apps, so many platforms, so many companies coming up with different things. It all depends on who is going to make the initial moves, and then who will find the most innovative solutions for what you do. And I'll tell you guys, even this prompting, this is an unpopular opinion, Daudi. This prompting that guys are learning, SK, that you're teaching guys, in a year's time, everybody will be doing it. Nasikianga politicians wakisema constitution is very clear. You know, you can take this to the bank. In 6 months, in 1 year's time, prompting of AI will not be a preserve of a few people. And that happens in so many spheres of life. Everybody has Photoshop, everybody can buy cameras, everybody can learn Illustrator, these things people do. The difference comes in what can you do with the tools that you have that puts you separate from everybody else. I mean, there is an intern at Poster, most likely, who was told to create those customer care reps photo. Now, alifanya, we are here ranting, but guess what? The guy created, or the lady created the photos, they were used, and they jumped into the bandwagon. As to whether the lady has 10 hands or not, there is whoever created that amejichocha na amejiamini na wakaitumia kwa Poster. In a year's time, all those communication people will be able to prompt the way you are prompting, with no problem with fingers, with no problems with 3 legs. So, jiteka mkutano, ask yourself, in what ways can I use the different AI technologies? Not just, guys, please don't get lost by generative AI for images. Don't get lost. I beseech you, by the mercies of God, don't get lost just on Midjourney, DALL-E 3, Bing, and the rest. Ask yourself, how can you utilize AI when you're doing your films in scripting? How can you use it in your graphic design? How can you use it in editing some of your images? How can you use it in your voiceovers? The other day, Alex, who you're going to be with in your training, was telling me there is this software that you just drag and it cleans sound. That is AI, Daudi. You drag, drop the audio clip, hizo makelele zote inatoa. Otherwise, you'd have to sit on audition, dragging sliders and losing your eyesight like me and getting into problems. By the way, in conclusion, Daudi, AI has been with us longer than we think. It's just that right now, imekunywa kavodo kidogo, or did I just say vodo? Imekunywa kavodo kidogo, so na steroids. Imekunywa steroids, so imeanza kutuchocha, but AI has been there. The algorithms on social media, some of those automatic actions on Photoshop, you know, content aware and all those. Now, generative fill is like content aware on steroids, you know, all those kind of things. So, yeah, you know, kibwagizo, yeah, what I'm saying, Daudi. If you think prompting is a thing, that is not it. How can AI make you work faster, make you work better, deliver quality, make work more efficient, then it will give you an edge over your competitors with your clients. And maybe some of you will have to look for a niche. You know, maybe it's real estate, maybe it's time lapses, maybe it's content for learning. You know, you can use to create content for learning, etc. Because now we are content creators. We are not photographers. We are not filmmakers. We are finding ourselves doing everything under one roof, whether you're doing it alone or with a team or collaborating in a team. Thank you, Daudi.
Wow, wow. The gentleman is shooting from the hip. The image is talking about, I've just displayed it on the screen. Hopefully you can see it. POSA Kenya support. They're using AI. The gentleman or the lady just didn't whisper to it well enough to clear the hands and fingers. It is out there. But as the little says, the guy did it and it is out there. I even saw another one. Dashboard yako inakapoa. I mean, you and I know what dashboard we are talking about here. I mean, it's a double coincidence of ones, and you can see the double coincidence there. But anyway, the gentleman has done it, and the thing is on Billboard. Maybe he has cooled money, and here you are here doing very good ones, and you're not cooling money. But there's a guy who is doing it very shortly, and he is rich. So, in the spirit of inclusion, I want to come to Kesh. Kesh, are you sold? Have you jumped into this bandwagon? Do you feel this is something that you want to give yourself a try in it? And as well, guys in the call, I would want to hear your comments. This is a conversation. It's not just for the three moderators or the panelists. I would want to hear from akina Anto Trivet hapa na akina Ken Fupi. I want to hear, guys, what you think about this thing. And even Alois Itemba. You know, Alois used to be that guy who used to do very crazy composite. But now, bro, composite unafanya hapo na prompt mbili. Ama ni 3 seconds. Composite umemaliza. Have you felt the heat, Alois Itemba? I would love to hear from you. And to Trivet, tunafanya picha moto sana. Bila Jimbei softbox pale hivi na frequency separation. How are you feeling it? Cream Joe, I want to hear some of these things. You can either unmute, come online and comment, or type on chat. But before you comment, Kesh, Dhamba. Guys are throwing darts here. They're saying you have a beautiful smile. I wanted to say that, but someone was fast enough. There's something Derito said about moving fast. The guy who moved faster than me. Anyway, tell me, do you find yourself, do you see yourself so to this maneno?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here. I've had SK share. I've had Steve share, and I must say, it's a very eye-opening hearing each of their perspectives and seeing what they've been able to do as well. What's actually really interests me is that face swap technology. I find that pretty cool. And what Steve, so yes, I can say yes, my heart has not been hardened to AI, just that I didn't give it my time. But Steve, when Steve asks, how can AI make my work more efficient, or make my, for example, graphic design more efficient, audio mixing more efficient, yeah, so that in the long run, you're a better service provider and problem solver for your client. I think that's an angle that I am going to pursue. It's eye-opening, and I think it will simply make my work better and my process more efficient. And why not? You see, like you said, composite photography, AI can do that in under 30 seconds. So yeah, and composite photography is photography that we still, back in the day, gave our time, we respected it, you know, if it was done well, the shading and all that, and just making all layers cohesive. And now AI, let's just see it as a tool. I think it can help. For me, my main takeaway is how can it make because like Steve said, I'm not just a photographer. There are other things I am doing besides the actual taking of photos. So in filmmaking, in audio balancing, in graphic design, in other forms of design, motion graphics, how can I make my process better? That's my main take home from this. I had not looked at AI from that angle. When AI first came to the scene, I actually felt threatened. And I wondered, what the heck, how is this going to play out? But I must say that I think when we ask the right questions, it's a step forward. And Steve has helped us to ask the right questions with regard to AI. So I can say I'm sold. I'm sold.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think that's a good place to celebrate. If you're here, we would have bought something a clear and toast. However, now that you're far, let's keep it the way it is. By the way, I bought a mic that is worth $1,000 US. It's called Sennheiser MK416. That thing is $1,000. $1,000 today is about 160K, something that this size. And now Adobe just released that thing is calling Adobe Podcast that Nania said. You record with your phone, you throw it there. The audio personally I've done much. I throw that thing on Adobe Podcast, and the audio that I've recorded with my MKH416 and Zoom H6, which means that the recording thing that I'm using alone, that's about 200K. And a phone, throw it on podcast, gives the same audio quality. My goodness. Someone can buy, I can sell it at $900, guys. If you need MKH416, come, I sell it to you. Now that I may not be using it. But it's always good when I'm going to the clients. The clients think I'm a very serious guy. Anyway, wow. Clearly AI is doing something crazy. I want to spend the next few minutes to hear reactions from the members. Feel free to unmute, come on phone, come on camera, and talk to us what you think about AI and our space in photography or content creation, as Dedito tells us. Fupi, are you ready, or someone like Trivet?
Okay. I think on my end, first of all, my day job, as I would say, is I would say I would want to call myself a graphic designer, but I think rightly, as Steve said, we can no longer box ourselves in these titles because we find ourselves cross-cutting across many disciplines in terms of what we do. And it's only right, as you said, we are content creators. And in many perspectives, I think, especially as a graphic designer, what I have come to see, I think we were the first casualties, in quotes, to say as a designer, saying, look at what came out, all the canvas, all these platforms online that would, Adobe, what's the name of this? They also have an online platform that has templates that you can just be able to create a lot of stuff from. It's called Adobe Express, yes. So yeah, if to say creatives, we were sort of the first casualties of AI, but I think from the wisdom, there's a joke that I share with my friend Daudi, and I say, I think once you're over 40, you become muhenga. Some of the wise words that Stephen Derito has said is, we are content creators, and you can only use this AI to position yourself or for your advantage. And I have to confess, I have been in that space where I've needed to do something quickly. A design has been needed, and I quickly get on my phone on Adobe Express, quick poster, templates, do this, as long as you know what you're doing, and when you send, nobody will know that you did your design on a phone. As Steve said, I've gone on assignments and you're taking photos and the boss says, I need my photo, I need to tweet. And these are some of the things you take, you do your Bluetooth, you do your transfer first, you send your images on WhatsApp. It's about efficiency. I've had scripts, I've done scripts, get into ChatGPT, write a short description. I say, give me a 30-second script about X, Y, and Z. And within seconds, I have a script, I edit it in context, and it's a brilliant work. So as the saying goes, the only thing that is certain in life is change. So you can either bend to it or break. So I think as creatives, the space where we are at and what we need to learn or to do is to adapt, because if we don't adapt, then we will end up being victims. And as he said, Steve said, 6 months from now or whatever, then we'll have more people who can do prompts. We will have more people who can do. So it's about enhancing your craft. If your photography, your filmmaking, your design, your whatever it is that you're pushing yourself in, it's important to learn how to leverage it and make the best out of it so that you keep remaining relevant. I think that's my take. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ken Fope. Ken Fope, my goodness. My friend Lois Itemba, do you have something to share with us, Lois? And by the way, anyone who want to have say something, raise your hand. I'll spotlight you and give you a moment so that you don't say, "Oh, I give guys that I know alone." Yeah, Alois. Or Museti Mika.
Daudi,
Yes.
if there is no hand, can I go?
Yes, please.
Okay. I would want to add, allow me, I think we have seen a meme, a poster about photographers.
Mem. That's all right. Yes.
Yeah. Meme achia wazungu. So that meme has a pie chart talking about what percentage of the time that we utilize shooting. What percentage of the time we utilize taking pictures, and maybe it's 10 to 15%. The rest of the time you're either editing, backing up, looking for images, captioning, keywording on Lightroom, watching a tutorial, scrolling endlessly with your thumb on the phone. 10 to 15% of the time, this is when you're shooting. Now, the other tasks that you do as a photographer, as a designer, as a filmmaker, as a videographer, creating your reels. Some of you here want to be influencers. I mean, you have YouTube channels where you post stuff, mnatuambia to subscribe. Your social media posting and content creation and strategy. You can slash that time to 10% if you embrace artificial intelligence wholeheartedly. Some of you who have, if you have a database of clients and you have to respond and all that, emails and client service, is of it is artificial intelligence, but it's just that we never used to call it that way. I'm sure some of you have heard about, have you heard about the My Wakili app? Now, I think it's, I know about it because I knew about it even before it came public. Check out on Citizen YouTube channel. You can see the feature. I knew about it like 6 months ago because I was in a room where it was being presented. It's an app that uses GPT or ChatGPT machine learning kind of technology to advise you like a lawyer. You can use it in any language you want, including English and Swahili. My landlord wants to kick me out. What do I do? That person has used ChatGPT kind of technology to create an app that solves everyday problems. Ahead of its time, it's 50 bob to sign up, I think. If you have any legal queries, you just ask. It will answer you even before you walk out of your house to go see a lawyer in Upper Hill. Now, what is happening is that start even thinking about how we can use AI through the knowledge you have to solve specific problems. I'll repeat. Think of how we can use our skills as photographers, as visual communicators, to use the tools that are available to solve everyday problems. Then that way we'll be heroes. We have things like, Fupi will agree with me, sometimes unaleteango makaratasi, unaambiwa that's the write-up for the magazine you want to design. And you have to scan it and convert it to something called OCR, optical character recognition. It's been there for a while, but the advancement now is way high up. You can now convert a 500 PDF into a Word document without errors, you know? So the last example I want to give is that some of you know a platform called GitHub. People develop custom to solutions and they post them there, then you can purchase. I know somebody who purchased that extension. I think it's a Google Chrome extension to help you pull. Let's say, Daudi, you want to do advertising. So you want contacts of creative directors in advertising agency. Unaiweka hapo kwa Chrome, inavuta hizo vitu kutoka Facebook. Do you know how long it will take you to get contacts of creative directors in advertising agencies from Facebook or any other platform in Kenya? How many even do you know? But that is an artificial intelligence tool. It's an extremely intelligent app that has been developed, because you cannot do that. It will take you a lifetime. But you just use it in a month, you have 500 contacts. So I'll still challenge you, go beyond the normal. Of course, you have to learn the basics. You have to learn prompting. You have to know, okay, I can see somebody asking you to share the extension. I will have to find out which one it is. Yeah, but you have to purchase it. You have to purchase it, then you install it on your Chrome browser. So, Aya, back to you in the studio.
Fantastic, fantastic. And by the way, before you think that it's just only photographers who are affected, I think you have heard Steve speak, and literally everyone, including doctors, lawyers, factory workers, drivers, truck drivers, everyone is getting affected with AI. And I think the honors on us in terms of what you're going to do with AI rather than trying to fight it. As I conclude, because we want to load this home, I want you to see something that is under less than what? Under 2 minutes. And this is what Google has done for video. They're calling it Lumiere. Is it what? What is it called? Lumiere. I don't know how to pronounce it. Can you see, guys? Can you see the video? Or I'm showing something else different?
Yes, we can see. We can see.
Okay, cool.
The turtles and the butterflies.
Let me just. Sound. I'm not sharing sound. Give me a second. Let me see. Share sound. Okay. Let's do this, man. It's the new kid in the block. Basically, you just also prompt it. You type anything, give you a video. There you have it, guys. Your model is wearing the wrong dress. You can change the dress in post-production. Can you imagine? You know, some of these things that you used to pay a lot of people to admit for us, and Dorito knows we share a friend who used to frustrate our lives. Some of these animation we can do them ourselves now. Can you imagine? My goodness. We want to learn this baby so that I can give you guys a chance to go and spend with your family as you tell them how your career is going to be affected by AI. But you want to disclose this with wisdom. Unaweza ambia mtu akuache. So you need to work with wisdom with some of these things. So we want to learn this baby, and as we round it up, there's someone who has raised a hand, and I think they're calling themselves CE. CE, you have a minute to tell us why you have raised your hands and what you want to tell us. Go, please.
Hi guys.
Oh, this is Chris Evans. Karibu bana.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Absolutely.
Yes. So I want to just put my thoughts out there about AI. I want to say I'm actually very, very impressed by how far the technology has come through. It's been there for quite some time, and I know for the context of this discussion, we are talking about photography, but it's been in a lot of spaces. Like I see self-driving cars out there. There's also technology in research as well, where you'll have to do research for so many number of years. With AI, you can just input it with your data, but then it extrapolates for a time that will have, if it will have taken you like 3 years to do, it shortens that time by even half, okay? But to go back to our context of photography and video, in the recent dates, I've seen it, I'll say for us creatives who are here in photography and video, I'll say the best thing you can do right now is learn how to prompt, and then apply it to your context, okay? But then as you do that, also remember there is also an opportunity to train the AI as well. There are some tools you can use to customize the AI so that it leans towards whatever you are working on, okay? Because like, for instance, how we see that initially, like Midjourney, when the first version of Midjourney, when it came out, it used to have problems with the hands. Right now, you don't see a lot of it because there are people who train it every day on that. And actually, I've seen jobs out there for inviting people to come and train the AI. I saw something actually on Shutterstock. With the images that you send it, they're actually using now AI to like trim those images and actually now use them to. They also have their own image creation tool as well. So that's also a space where people can go into. And then there was, as at now, I think the challenge now is to like how you can create, how you can use those outputs and put them within your business context. Because now we are at a point whereby it's so natural, use the language that you use to generate the images is very natural language. So the edge that you have here is just to how well you can describe something. So if you can have that already, you already have a level playing ground. So you just use very, very good descriptive words and you come out with something excellent. But now the next step, and I think this is where now people will be pushing AI to the limit, is now how can you now use that infuse it with what you already have. Okay, it's kind of like a collision of what AI is right now with now what you give it that is unique to yourself. It kind of sounds philosophical, but I think that is what will make a big difference. Like I saw there's a project. This is my last comment on this. I had put some points. There are a few projects I saw, like on film, for instance, where they were inviting people to call. You call a number, and then you give your thoughts on something. So they had like an idea for a film. So they put a hotline number there. You give them your thoughts, and then they collect this information you give them. They translate it into text, and then from text they now generate visuals from there. And they did and it's something that is actually ongoing. But now they are doing films based on people's abstract ideas or thoughts. So I think it's very novel as at now, because this is just the beginning of, we are talking about January right now, but in the next like 3 months, Visual will be seeing a lot of amazing stuff. So those are my thoughts.
Thank you so much, Chris Evans. My goodness. You need to respect this man, and when you meet him, please buy him a coffee, because him and Fupi used to be the official designers for Photographers Association of Kenya, PK. So, and it's a very voluntary role. Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate your insights and the incredible work you've been doing for PK. We want to learn this, baby.
Thank you.
I want to give my panelists a parting shot. I want to start with Kesh, go to SK, and finish with Derito, in that order. Kesh, what are your parting shot? What has been your learning? What do you think?
My parting shot has been there's a lot to learn, especially a lot to unlearn. So that's my biggest takeout in this. I've shared my perhaps little to nothing experience with AI, and from today's discussion, I can only say if there are people who have not given it much of their time or a chance, for whatever reason really, but have not just come to, yes, give it a chance. I think for me, my parting shot is or my take home is to unlearn a lot as well as to learn, and ask myself the right questions. As we've seen and had Steve been like to ask ourselves how AI can help us be better, because we are not just a sole pursuit or specialty. We are a photographer who does other things with regard to design. So which at the end of the day, they culminate to make you either a better service provider. So these are the aspects of what you do. These are the facets of what you do that make what you do either better or worse. How can AI improve those things? For me, that was what blew my mind the most. And I'm also seeing that AI on many occasions will save time, and time is money. So that's also a really good thing to learn and to take away with. For now, that's what I can say. I am going to teach myself or find out how I can learn how to prompt and see as what Chris Evans has shared, and see how bright the future can be with this AI tool. I think it's a tool and we can use it to our advantage. So it's to find out how. Since it's here to stay, let's not fight it. Maybe let's find out how we can both coexist, because there's room for it and for us.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kesh McKenna. Wonderful. Okay, we go to the man himself, SK. the master class. Or is it Sensei? SK.
Thank you guys once again for being here. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, you are.
Yes, as I was preparing for this class, I went through some videos. And in this one in particular, I took something away from. So they said that creativity is very individual. Our imagination is very individual. And companies are still going to need to hire the best. They're still going to need a high converting image. For that, we will now there will be a rise. As much as Stephen said that everybody will be prompting, there is that one person who will rise to be maybe the genius prompt engineer who makes images that are converting. Because at the end of the day, people want to sell. What I want to do is encourage people out here, don't be scared with AI. Don't be scared at all. This tool is here for us to advance ourselves, make our art better, and even the way we do things, and make it easier. So I feel that our confidence as creatives should be in our way. Just as we are able to imagine real emotion capturing images, we can still use this imagination to create things that are very unique to us. And remember, as a creative, your customers come to you because of your own unique individuality. So stick to your style, just learn how to use these tools, usiogope. But one more thing is just don't be left behind, because this thing, kama huielewi how it works, kuna very many platforms. Kuna AI that you can use for your marketing, culling your work, something like Aftershoot. You just upload images, then itakushagulia the best, imagine. So like, just learn how to use these tools, make your work easier. It's here for us to take advantage of it. Before niende, we have a master class on Saturday. So in this class, tutafunza maybe somebody who has not been familiar with these technologies. For now, tunafunza just getting what you imagine from AI now, because you can imagine something, but how now do you get the AI to give you that? So the first thing we are going to teach is structure of a prompt. Then we are going to teach artistic styles that you can apply to your work. Then we are going to teach just the thing I've shown you, the face swap technology, which is the one we've used for that poster. Those images are not the real us; those are AI generated. Then we are going to maybe, because I'm sure some of us will be here, we are going to discuss maybe how we can use this AI technology to maybe generate some income for ourselves. So I think that's it for me. Thank you guys for being here. I'm very happy. This has been a very helpful session. Meet my hero Stephen Derito. I've always heard of him because we are namesakes. Thank you, Mr. Moniki, for organizing this, and for everyone who was here. Cheers, guys, and good night.
There you have it, guys. On Saturday, we have a masterclass. Sensei SK will be there. Simon Lines will be there. I plan to be there myself. Let's meet, let's learn how to prompt this thing. Fantastic. Lastly, Derito. Someone is calling you a hero. My goodness. I think they say a prophet is not known in their country. Yeah, there's a someone. Anyway, Derito, tell us what's your parting shot.
So I think I'm happy that this conversation is happening, and this conversation needs to continue. So I usually take the road less traveled, and I have 4 brief points. Number 1, AI is much more than Midjourney, more than DALL-E 3, more than Firefly, more than those things. So as photographers, as filmmakers, as creatives, as business people, Remember, artificial intelligence is in almost every sphere of your life. Do not limit your understanding of artificial intelligence to just generative images. Number two, prompting will be very important to learn. Like SK has said, if you learn to prompt better, then you'll have an edge. Which takes me to my third point. You know, there are these guys, Daudi, who do time lapses. Why community to Sindio?
I have even one here who just bought a camera for time lapse very recently. He's called Mseo Mutema. I don't know whether he has made money. Maybe I invite him next time. Anyway, continue.
There are also people who have specialized kwa kazi tu ya drone. I know a guy who is called, like when guys are shooting these serious music videos, yeah, and they wait to shoot drone because that's what he's known for. So perhaps out of 100 of us, maybe 10 will differentiate their product offerings using AI and give them a competitive edge. And I'll say this, we might both be making 100 shillings, but me, I made my 100 shillings in 10 minutes. You made your 100 shillings in a day. Daudi unanipata?
Kabisa.
We might both be making 100 shillings, but for me, it took 10 minutes to make my 100 shillings. For you, it took a day. So after 10 minutes, I'll have time to drive down to Amboseli and see elephants.
Wow.
I'll have time to take my kids swimming. I'll have time to take my wife for a date. I'll have time to go Shago and see my parents. You'll have time to take your girlfriend for a movie or a play, while the other guy is still working on 9 hours. Asante.
Wow. My goodness. There you have it. Such wisdom, such insight, such different perspectives. Imagine you've gotten all this free. I think these you guys, you need to pay for PAK membership, so that we can continue having these conversations free. Please send 3,000 to that pay bill number. Please send that 3,000 to that pay bill number that is always on the whatever. I think I need to share it on this.
Siweke hiyo pay bill number basi kwa script.
Because nikuwe kama wale wachungaji after preaching imefunzwa moto wanakuwekea pay bill hapo number. Alafu tafadhali kumbukeni, on Saturday we have a masterclass. Let's learn how to prompt this thing. In the places where I go, they call it AI whisperers. So tafadhali, let's pay for PK subscription. I'll do all these things for voluntarily, but let's have some money so that we can have more of these things coming, so that we can, have some money to pay admin and run this association. Otherwise, it has been an absolute pleasure to have this conversation. As Steve Derito says, we'll continue. In actual fact, we are looking forward to have a bigger one next month. I want to bring you guys the guy behind Safaricom calendar to share with you how he did that, and take jobs for so many of you. And it will be amazing. So watch out for that next month. And guys, let's keep learning. Remember, the more you learn, the more you earn.
The more you earn.
Fantastic. Good night. I give you back 4 minutes. Where I work in the corporate, you call it time boxing. And every time you're able to deliver below the time boxing, we say we'll give you back. So my time was up to 8 p.m. I'm giving you back 4 minutes. Remember me in your next kingdom. Cheers and good night.
Nice.
Acha niweke kama muziki ka kusign out. Sivi nimejaribu kutafuta hiyo ni nile sioni. Moyo hata ni angetuwekea hiyo kitu hapa.
Na baba, sisi ni wale tuliosaidiwa.
See you. Bye bye.